Why do we have a leadership crisis in our society? No matter where you look, it could be at work, could be in government, could be in your family, could be in your community, school, wherever you are, it's most likely that you can find an absence of leadership. If you were listening to this podcast is called The Business of Fatherhood. Part of the pun and the play on words with this is the idea is that the business of fatherhood is very similar to the business of leading a business. And that the same principles of leadership apply at work that work at home. And we often think there's these two people that need to show up, but in reality, it's the same. When we look at leadership, I want you to think about this idea that leadership has been talked about for centuries, if not millennia. And the idea of leadership still being something that people struggle with is ironic. That there still is an absence of leadership despite an over millennia decade focus on understanding and influencing people. Imagine how many books are at your local library right now on the topic of leadership. Imagine how many keynotes were given across the country at various conferences on leadership. If you follow Tony Robbins, imagine how many people Tony Robbins has taught over the 30, 40 plus years he's been doing it on how to lead your life. But yet, we still have a leadership gap. Why is that? Well, my good friend Josh, I proposed this question to him, and he very short and succinctly said, it takes courage to lead. Most people don't have enough courage to lead, because to lead means you're out front. To lead, you have to be visible. To lead, you are consciously making an effort to do something different than other people. To be the leader often can mean you're setting the tone. And most people lack the courage to do that. Well, today I want to ask you this question. What is the lack of courage in your life costing you? Maybe this is your first episode, or maybe this is your 368th episode of this podcast. Are you leading your life in a way that demonstrates courage? There was this Instagram reel that goes around that I agree with, but at the same time, I struggle with because it is the crux of what being a father is. Have you ever stopped yourself and thought how many times you might have told your kids you can be anything you want in life? Have you ever said that? How many to your kids that you can be anything that they want to be in life? The world's your oyster. But this Instagram video points out this question about being a father. Dad, if you can have everything in life that you want and you can be anything that you want, why didn't you? Why didn't you get everything you want in life? Man, does that haunt me. Because there are things in my life that I didn't do. There are moments in my life that I lacked courage to go my own way. These will be things I have to reckon with and answer to my kids when they ask. But I challenge you, where are you at in this question, in this journey of leading and having courage to lead a life that demonstrates to your kids what is possible? Don't be telling your kids that you can have everything in life that they want, but then set the bar so low that you didn't do it either. This is the crux of our parenting in 2022. Is it takes courage to lead with an example that's worth following. Most examples of parenting in our society are not worth anything. Now, that doesn't blanket everybody into that example. But if you look at the examples on TV, if you look at examples that Disney often portrays in their shows, these are not examples of fatherhood and leadership that I would want to pass on to my kids. The model of life that we are providing is the one that they are going to follow. The amount of courage that we exercise with our life will be proportional to the amount of courage they exercise with theirs. Are you leading your life with courage? Are you having courageous conversations with your kids that are hard? Are you having courageous conversations with your partner, even if they are hard? The victory belongs to the people who are the most courageous, the ones who have the courage to go into places that others won't. A great gym analogy that I used early on is do things today that others won't. So tomorrow, you can do things that others can't. Do things today that others won't. So tomorrow, you are available and ready to do things that others can't because they did not train, because they didn't have the courage to do what was necessary when it was easy, before it became necessary and it was hard. That is all I have for you today. I'll be back again with you guys tomorrow.